Hey y'all, it's your girl Coach Yana, and welcome to another episode of Healed and Chilled. And today it's going to be a little bit different. This is just me talking my stuff because I saw that Roblox now has a dating app, or they're trying to turn Roblox into a dating app. And I almost passed out, honestly, because I'm just so disgusted at even the idea that Roblox would have a dating aspect. I'd be telling parents all the time, and something that I'm really trying to highlight is the dangers of Roblox. And that's also why I have my Roblox clubs, because children are so innocent. And just like adults, they project. Adults project their thoughts onto others. And so they just assume because I think a type of way that someone else thinks a type of way. It makes it incredibly dangerous for children who are on Roblox unmonitored because they are so innocent. They just assume that everybody is as innocent as they are. And as someone who knows for a fact that there is a war on innocence, I feel so incredibly protective over my children, over any child, to be honest. And I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't have biological children. So when I'm talking about my children, I'm talking about my students. I take their safety very, very seriously. And I've had a few incidences on the clubs playing Roblox. And thankfully, it's just us. Like, we don't turn the talking feature on, we're on together, whatever. I've had a few incidences where children will share their address, children will share their school name, they'll share personal information, their street address. And I am very aware not to discipline them too heavily in club, because club is a fun space where they can do whatever they want to do. However, when a child shares personal information, that is the only time that they will really, really hear Coach Yana's not playing. Okay. Like, I'm not joking about that. And I'll make it very, very clear, clear enough so that the message gets received, but not too harshly so that it messes up the whole vibe of the club. But I have to, because there are really scary stories that just keep coming out about Roblox, how children will share too much information and then they get a knock on the door and some weirdo is there to kidnap them. Or some weirdo pulls up to their house because they met them on Roblox. They thought they were talking to a friend. Now they're freaking trying to add a dating app or a dating proponent or whatever to Roblox. And I just don't understand it. It's disgusting to me. I can't even imagine why a children's app, it's an app that started out for children, regardless if it's a children's app now, an app that started out for children. I don't even understand the concept of why you would even start marketing to adults. I understand wanting to grow your market, but Roblox is freaking huge. Okay. There's all children that I know play Roblox. And now you want to market to adults, and now you want to add a dating component? To me, that's just total malarkey. It's just so weird. It's very, very weird. And now one of the parents told me they're even having like games that have like dating aspects, like hug and pass or hug or pass. I'm like, what? This is for children. And so the thing is, like, I don't want parents to be afraid because, in the world, children are going to come across, unfortunately, scary people, but we have to be prepared. Don't be scared, be prepared. And we have to prepare our children for these realities that, unfortunately, as much as we want them to not know that there are scary people out there, you don't have to give them the details, but please, please make sure you're harping on the fact. Just tell them that there's monsters on Roblox. They don't even need to understand the gravity of what can happen, really, what can happen to them, unfortunately. But you can just tell them, hey, there are monsters on Roblox. Do not share where you go to school. Do not share this, and that, because you could be playing with a monster. Also, I would really, really encourage you not to let them play alone. If your child is a child, because children they get so caught up in the moment, just like adults. You ever gotten so caught up in the moment and you shared something that you to someone that you knew you shouldn't have told, but you were just so caught up in the moment that it just came out because you were just in the moment, you were in the vibe, and then after you're like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have said that. Now, amplify that with a childhood innocence. Amplify that with playing your favorite game, playing a game with who you perceive to be friends, because then they're also adding these people that they don't even know. So I also encourage them, and I'll explicitly say, like, hey, like they'll say, hey, I got a friend request from such and such. I'll say, don't add that person back because sometimes like for certain games we don't have enough people to play in a private server, so we'll play in the public server and they're still monitored because I'm there with them and looking at the chat and all that type of stuff. But I have to like remind them, hey, don't be adding these people, you don't know them. Like only friend people that you know. Even me, I only friend people that I know. Even this guy, it was a male character, so I'm assuming it was a guy. In the Grow Garden Club, I was playing Grow Garden so that I would understand what it was, so I'd be prepared for club. I'm still slightly confused on Grow Garden, to be honest, but the children are sweet and they walk me through how to play, which is wonderful. But I'm on there and this other character person like gifts me all of these like rare items, right? And so I went from having 3,000 of the Grow Garden dollars to like 100,000 Grow Garden dollars. And then they kept sending me friend requests and I kept just acting like I didn't see it and kept denying it. Just because like I don't freaking nap. I'm outside today. I'm outside today. Anyway, I denied them and I tell my students, like if they say, oh, such and such is trying to add me, I'm like, don't add them back. Now, what they do, I don't know because I'm not in their house, I'm not on their computer. So I can't tell if they friend them or not. But I make it very clear that I don't think you should do that. That's not a good idea. Don't friend that person. You don't know them. They're not in our club. And we even go as far, like if we're playing Style Showdown and Dress to Impress, we will vote out anybody that's not in the club. And then after all the people that are not in the club are out, then we'll vote fairly. Yeah, me and my children, we farm, okay? We farm hardcore. Like if you're not part of our club, you're getting kicked out quick, 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 no matter how cute your outfit looked. Just because that's just what we do, okay? And I'm all about keeping children safe, keeping children innocent. But part of that is as guardians and things, and all of us, because I consider myself a guardian when they're under my care, I'm watching them. I'm protecting them. I don't play certain things. And my children, they don't play either. Like someone came in the server one time and they realized we were farming. Um, and they caught an attitude. And this was on my Thursday club. Them girls, a lot of them have now switched to other days or are in like different activities and things. Um, but those girls were not playing with that person. Like they reported the person. It got crazy. They were all like, because that's just how they are. They're so protective of each other as well, not just of themselves. They're protective over me as well. Like I remember one time one of the students just wasn't having a good day and she was definitely having an attitude. And she was having an attitude with me. And at the end of the day, children sometimes have attitudes and it's fine. Like, I'm not tripping over an attitude. Everybody has attitudes. But my other student was not for it and was made it very clear that she did not care for the other girl's attitude and that she needed to fix it because she didn't like how she was talking to me. So, my children, I created an environment where they are all protective over each other. They're all protective over me. They're protective over one another. I'm protective over them. And that's just how we are because I've created a safe space and it has to stay that way. You know what I'm saying? And now that, Roblox has this dating component or is considering it, I'm just mind boggled and disgusted because there are children on there and there's already so many horrible horror stories about children getting like snatched up from Roblox and now they want to add to it because to me there's nothing good that can come from um, having dating on Roblox. There's not even age verification to have Roblox. Anybody that has access to the internet can make a Roblox account. And so for parents, it's not about, like I said, it's not about being scared, but you should have a level of fear when it comes to your child playing on the internet, because a lot of times parents will be like, oh, well, you can't go to the park alone, but you can play on Roblox alone. At least if you're at the park alone, you're only contending with the people. Oh man, the freaking unit just came on. I hope you can't hear that. It's kind of loud, but whatever. That's what happens when you sit outside. And I already got bit. So I'm about to make this episode quick so I can go get some spray. Some mosquitoes are biting at 6 in the morning. That's insanity. So I got to go hurry up. But anyway, what I was going to say is that I'm going to come back for a different episode. But when your child is at the park alone, it's still dangerous, yes. But the only people you are up against are the people that are at the park. Now, that doesn't mean that there are not weirdos there. Like, let's be very clear. There might be some creepy guy or lady hiding behind a tree, for all you know. Like, that's reality of where we live in this world. But you're only up against the people at the park. When your child is on Roblox, you are up against every single person on the entire planet that has Roblox. There are people in other countries that your child is playing with. So you take the danger of being at the park and you amplify that to millions and millions of people. And that is what you're putting your child in when they play Roblox alone, unmonitored. You are putting them basically in a cesspool of danger, because at least if they don't come home from the game, from the park, at least you know that they're missing. At least you know that something happened. But if you are not monitoring them on Roblox, you won't even know that they shared their address with somebody. You won't even know that they shared their school location with someone until they come up missing from your house. You won't even know until it's too late, because then you have to also consider that whoever they're sharing their information with has all the time in the world to plan. They don't have to just, like, at the park, they can just come scoop you up and there's a chance that someone will see it. Hopefully someone will try to stop and intervene. But if your child is telling somebody where they live at Roblox, what if they're sharing what their room looks like? What if they're sharing the layout of the house? The person who's nefarious has a longer opportunity to plan out how they're going to get your child. Then there's less chance for you to find out, even because they play so many games. How would you even be able to track which game they were interacting with that caused the creepy person to find them? So just like you wouldn't at this time, because there was a time, like when I was younger, I was going to the park alone all the time. But it was a different time too, but like, just like now, you wouldn't let your child just meander around, doing whatever, unaccompanied, unmonitored. You darn sure shouldn't let your child play Roblox unmonitored, because they're actually less safe on Roblox unmonitored than they would be going to the park by themselves. And a lot of you have had horrible experiences outside by yourself. So you're thinking, oh, well, they're in my living room, they're just playing Roblox. Roblox is dangerous. Okay. You cannot just let your child play Roblox unmonitored. That is a dangerous space. And I'm not trying to like say anything against Roblox as a platform, as a brand. So like understand. But there are a lot of dangerous things that happen to children from playing Roblox unmonitored. Because if they're unmonitored, there's no Coach Yana reprimanding them for sharing their address. And I have to make it very, very, very clear and plain. There's no other way I can say it. Your children are innocent. Okay. You project and think that if you feel a type of way, the other person that you're speaking to feel the same way. That's why we get mad when people don't treat us the way we treat them, because we project. So your child is projecting their innocence on strangers, on grown men and women who are predators. There are predators on Roblox. Roblox is becoming a cesspool for predators. Why? It's because it's a haven for children. And unfortunately, there is actively a war on innocence. I don't care what you say. There is a war on innocence, and society is trying to make children go from children to adults. They're trying to make children grow up faster. They're trying to make children want to do things earlier on. They want to make children be adults and want to make children have adult-like experiences. They're trying to eliminate the awkward teenage phase and makes children go straight from being a child to being an adult. They're trying to promote with adults tricking and selling yourself. That is what they are trying to promote to our children. So you have to monitor your child because they are on the internet dealing with God knows who. Children also can get caught up in the moment and do stupid things. We've all done dumb things as a child, but now amplify that with doing dumb things on the internet and just imagine who your child has already interacted with, what information your child has already shared that they should not have. Now imagine that. Now, how do you feel? Okay. So all you need to do to help alleviate that, play with them. Don't allow your child to just play Roblox unmonitored. Have them only play in the living room. I would recommend not to have devices in your child's room that they can just play all night unmonitored. It's all about monitoring them. Sign them up for my clubs. I'm not the only person that has clubs, but to me, my clubs are the best, period, because I'm myself and I'm clearly biased. Okay. And parents will tell me like your clubs are the best, and that's why I had to move such and such because my other child wants to be in your club. Or they'll say, oh, okay, my child said this was the best Roblox club they've ever been in. So because we just have our own way. And I'm sure that there are other ones that are the best too, but my clubs are the best. Okay, period. But the point is, you don't have to keep them off of Roblox because you don't want to turn them into paranoid, whatever, and you don't want to seal their innocence away either by saying like, oh, you just can't do it or whatever, you know. But you have to monitor them. And so if you don't have the time to monitor them, put them in a club so that someone else can monitor them. And even with that, be mindful because like for me, they might, because in Roblox, like kids can join your game if they're friends with you. So that's another reason why I only friend people that I know, because sometimes the kids, when they see that I'm on, they will join. Even though I encourage them not to do that, they will still join. And I don't want them to be joining me with like people I don't know. I don't want people that I don't know having access to our private server. So that's why I only have friends because, sometimes children will just be so excited that I'm on that they'll still join the server, even though they're not in the club. And I do like let them know, hey, if you're not in club, don't be joining. But they do it anyway because they're children. But that's another reason why I don't just friend random people because I don't want random people joining my private server with my children. Like if they know we're in a public server, they know we're in a public server. But if they know we're in a private server, it needs to be private. It needs to be a space where even if they slip up and share personal information, I can just reprimand them, but there's no serious consequences because it's just me and their friends. That's it. But I like so if they join me when I'm playing, fine, but I don't accept their invitations. When I'm playing, I don't accept that they just send me a request and I go and play with them. No, because to me, that's weird too. I'm an adult, okay? I'm your teacher. If we're in club together, I'm your coach, whatever. If we're in club together, then fine. We can play all day. But I can imagine when I have a sneeze. Excuse me. I can imagine, like, if I was a parent, I wouldn't want to find out that the person that I'm trusting to play on Thursday, for example, I'm just throwing a random time out because we don't have clubs at this time, but I would be really upset if I was paying a teacher or whoever, a coach, whatever, to play Roblox with my child at 4 p.m. and play Dress to Impress at 4 p.m. But if I found out that at 8 p.m. my child was playing Roblox with the teacher, I would feel a type of way. And I would be like, what is going on? Like, why are you playing with my child? It's not club time. So because to me that blurs the line. So they send me game requests, like join my game, like every time I'm on Roblox, even if I'm just playing with my siblings or my cousins or something, or even if I'm just doing some research to figure out like what other games are popular, they will send me requests, but I just ignore them. And I let them know like, hey, I'm not going to accept your game requests and things, but they still send me requests anyway, which is so sweet. But I never join them because to me that ends up on the creepy person line, and I'm not a creepy person, and I take children's safety very very seriously, and so I don't even join them when like I said, if they join me, I can't control that because that's just how the game functions because we're friends. But like I said, that's why I don't friend people I don't know. I only friend my students and my siblings and my cousins and things. Because I can't have no random person ended up in my server. I have like, especially now that I started making YouTube videos of me playing, I have like so many requests and I just act like I don't see them. But now I think I'm gonna go through and just like delete them all because it makes it harder. Like when a new student comes, I gotta like walk through and see, what their name is and do all that type of stuff. But anyway, the whole reason I came on here today was just to remind you to keep your children safe on Roblox. Understand that there are a lot of dangers on Roblox, and Roblox is becoming a cesspool because now they're trying to add this dating portion on there, which to me just doesn't even make any sense. They're marketing more to older audiences, and there are creeps there because children are innocent and they will unintentionally, just like adults, unintentionally get caught up in the moment and reveal personal information. The only issue is that a child revealing their personal information to the wrong person could be catastrophic. So that is why I really like I don't discipline them very much. I'll like give them the all right now, but yeah, all right now you're on the line, you're on the line. And typically, they can self-correct. Just because of like other tactics that I do too. They really want to get encouragement and things. So when I have to course correct them, they know I'm not joking because I don't do it very often. But when it comes to them sharing their personal information, I will definitely I'll be much harsher than I normally would because they don't understand why I'm doing it, but they see the difference and then they stop because we can't establish that habit, even though it is safe to share on with me and the students. Because, but you know what? I don't know because a student could be playing in the house with someone that's creepy. And then that creepy person who's in the house, because let's be real, there are strange people, but so far, I don't get any creepy vibes from any of the families, but I don't know. I just have to be honest. I don't know. So it could even be dangerous to do that in the club because someone might overhear it. A child might be playing at the library or something and a stranger hears the conversation. So I don't really care what it is. I have to establish, hey, that's not okay. Don't share your personal information, period. You know, there are monsters out here. You don't want a monster coming to your house, period. And then, I tell the parent afterwards, like, hey, such and such did X, Y, and Z. This is how I handled it. And though, you might want to double down because we're a team here. It takes a village to raise a child. Okay. And like parents have a lot going on, and a lot of parents don't even know that this is happening. If I didn't know anything about Roblox, I would have just thought it was for children. Um, it's unfortunate that there is such a war on innocence. And it's unfortunate that there are weirdos out here who will try to um, turn children into victims. But I'm on the front lines. Okay. I'm dun, 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 dun. I'm out here looking to help save children, and I will go to the ends of the earth to protect the children that are in my care. Okay. Because their parents are trusting me to keep them safe. And I take that very seriously. And so do the older children will back me up on it because I have different age ranges. They'll back me up. Oh no, Coach Yana, I only friend people I know, like, because they know what's up. So the older children protect the young ones too. We don't play around because unfortunately, once your innocence as a child is taken from you or stolen, you can't get it back. There are some things that sorry or it was an accident just don't fix. It's unfortunate, but it's true. 5 minutes can completely change a child's life forever for the worst. 5 minutes can completely steal a child's innocence completely and change the whole trajectory of their life. 5 minutes can cause a child to have to heal for years afterwards. And I am not, excuse my language, I'm not effing around with it. Absolutely not. So just remember, at the end of this, ways that you can keep your child safe on Roblox. Number one, play with them. Okay. And then just watch how they act when you're playing with them. Watch the information that they share. Watch how they slip up because it's natural. Watch how they behave because that will give you an understanding of, okay, is this child ready to play Roblox unmonitored? The answer is typically no. But like if they're older, they already know not to share certain things, but still they can get caught up. Still they can get caught up. Okay, but play with them and see how they behave. The second thing, if you don't have time to play with them, put them in a club, okay? Put them in a club. I have clubs, other people have clubs. Look, click the link in the description, or if I put the QR code, whatever. But th- put them in a club. The third thing, remind them of internet safety. Sometimes what my mom had to do to really um get the point across for me was like show me some stuff that wasn't so fun and let them understand, like, and if they're too young to show them like what can happen, like a news article or something, just scare them and just say there are monsters on here and you don't want monsters coming to the house, right? So why make them watch a scary movie and then say, hey, this character is playing Roblox. And if you share your personal information, that monster from the show, the movie that we just watched, is going to come to get you. It's better that they think that a monster is gonna come to get them than a real human monster that would come to get them. Like, let's just call it what it is, okay? So, you can do that. Um, Roblox, from my understanding, also has parental controls, so you can put some of those on. You can have access to their account so that you can see who they're friending, and if you don't, you can be like, "Hey, who is this person?" And they'll, get out of here, unfriend them, block them, unfriend them." Okay? Well, those are my there was something, some kind of bug was on me. I accidentally threw it in the grass. Sorry, little friend. It was just one of those, like, reaction things. It was like, I don't know what it was. I thought it was a leaf, but it wasn't a leaf when I picked it up and I just threw it, and I did not mean to do that. But anyway, that's all, folks, because I done got bit up. But you see how much I care about these children? I will sit outside because usually the mosquitoes aren't out this early, but I will sit outside and get ate up like a dinner buffet just to share information and knowledge that I think is important for children. All right, guys, that was Coach Yana, and I'll see you guys next time. This was an episode of Healed and Chilled. It was a little bit on the darker side, but it was necessary. Toodles.